This is Bereishis Rabbah Parshat Bereshit, entitled, There's No Such Thing as a Self-Made Man.
It's amazing. The Midrash takes a positive spin on a very gloomy pasuk. It says, "Bitzabon tochalna kol yamecha yecha." With great difficulty are you going to make your sustenance all the days of your life. What could be positive about that? That the Midrash introduces a sort of spiritual behind-the-scenes portrayal of how you're actually going to make a living. And the Midrash compares it to an amazing concept that we know is very open and miraculous. That is Geula, a redemption. Right? The first opinion in Rabbi Eliezer says, "Magula playam af parnasa playam." Just like redemption is full of miracles, so is your sustenance. And ma parnasa b'chol yom af gula b'chol yom. Just like there's daily miracles that are hidden in the process of redemption that we don't notice, the same thing is true about our daily grind. All kinds of things happen and we don't even realize it. And those two are equated, Geula, redemption, and making a living. So it's amazing. The next opinion goes even further. Reb Shmuel, the son of Nachman, says, Gedola min Geula. No, it's even greater than the redemption process. Amazing. And it's interesting because there is a commentary, the Eitz Yosef, which says that, I'll read it to you, Hainu b'neis nistar, k'ramim b'chol, ein balanes makir b'nisato. Just like in Pesach we say, Dor v'dor om b'chol dor v'dor om d'mulei kosena. What does that mean? The Eitz Yosef is pointing out that when it comes to miracles, the person who is the recipient of a miracle is most often not even aware that it happened. And he's giving a whole new meaning to the famous phrase we say in the Agada of Pesach, on Pesach night, B'chol dor v'dor om d'model kalasenu, right? We know that there is a great existential threat to the Jewish people. In every generation we can find that, whether it's the Iranians or the Germans or the Romans or the Greeks, the Syrians and the Babylonians, we always know who the threat was. But in the same way, there are countless smaller threats that we don't even hear about because God takes care of it. That's the way God sustains us, miraculously, and we don't even know about it. So that's how it's compared to the Geula, and then the next opinion is even more miraculous than the Geula. This is reminiscent of something very famous in Midrash Tanchuma, which talks about a famous story where a Roman noblewoman asked Reb Chalifta, what happened to God? I know that he created the world in 6 days, but what's he doing now? And Reb Chalifta said, he's helping people go up and down ladders, meaning he's helping people's financial stature increase or decrease. God is completely controlling our financial stature. And so it's reminiscent of this idea that God is pulling all the strings for us, and we may not even realize it. So what's important here is to understand that this is a great test, and there's an apparent contradiction to everything I'm saying in the beginning of the Midrash, because the Midrash also says, Amar Asi Kashay Parnasa Keflaim Kaleda. He said that, making a living is twice as hard as the birth process, which is called labor. It's not called labor for nothing. So how could that be? We just said it was miraculous. We just said it was like redemption or beyond redemption. Now it's saying it's twice as hard. So I believe it is a famous case, or I should say a classical case of perception and reality. Our perception in the Western world is that making a living is very difficult. So we go out of our way to go to school and to make contacts, and we understand we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to learn from our mistakes, and we're going to try to claw our way to the top and gain the skills and gain the confidence and all that. And when we make it, is the great badge of honor in the Western world to say, I made it. It's I did it. And the Torah's view about that is complete derision. The Torah has 3 words for that to describe it. Kochi v'atzem yodi. You think it's from the power of your hands and the work that you did. That's how you got to where you are today. That is a total smokescreen. You didn't recognize that God was behind the scenes, that God controls this aspect of our lives. And it's a great test. And so that's why I believe the Midrash says that it's twice, when it says it's twice as hard as giving birth, means it could seem that way if you don't recognize God's involvement in our financial success. Then it could seem like it's very difficult that you did it and you achieved it. But it's not the way it is. And that, I think, explains this contradiction. And it's just interesting to note how mankind had gone from a state where God was in the Garden of Eden, abundantly clear who he was. And now after we've been expelled, so this hidden blessing is that we have to find God. We have to somehow counterintuitively ignore the Western way of looking at success and see there's really God behind the scenes. That is difficult. That is a challenge. That is our test on a daily basis. One of the biggest tests in our lives. I wish you all luck. Have a great Shabbos.